Hi, this is Rob. I got quite a few views on my last post about my Echo HC-150 Hedge Trimmer that I was having all the issues with, and I'm finally doing the follow-up to it. And after trying quite a few things here, number one was I replaced the carburetor, which is over here on the other side. You can see it, it's pretty new in there. I replaced that. I replaced the spark plug. I checked the coil for output, and I even took off this muffler right here and checked to make sure that the port wasn't blocked. So after doing all that, my hedge trimmer still ran like a piece of crap. Basically what would happen is I would start it up and it would run good for about 30 seconds, and I think once it built up pressure in the cylinder, it would just bog right down to the point where you couldn't even use it, and then eventually it would just stall and couldn't restart it again for a couple of days, it would seem like, or maybe until it dried out on the inside. So this hedge trimmer is running on 10, I think it's actually 11 years old, and I used it commercially for quite a while, for most of that time, because I had a lawn business. But anyway, after messing around with it, checking everything out, I determined that the engine was just worn out inside. I guess the rings are worn, and maybe the seals inside there are worn, and it's not holding, not making any compression. So after messing with it, doing all that, I finally decided to get a new one, and there it is, that beast right there. And I'm glad I did it. It was like nearly $300, but it was a lot better than messing around with this one, which by the time I was done messing around with it would probably, between hours of working on it and parts, would probably cost me almost the same thing anyway. Eventually I'll probably rebuild it. But that's my follow-up to my HC-150 Echo hedge trimmer problems that turned out not to be as simple as I thought, because originally, like I said, I thought it was the carburetor. For sure, I thought I had the problem licked. No way, wasn't to be. So there she is, 11 years old. Time to pack it up, retire, and bring out the new. This is actually a double podcast. Next part of my podcast is about my Acurite 5-in-1 weather station. There's my 5-in-1 sensor up there, which seems to have a spike when it's sunny out. It seems to show warmer temperatures than it should, than the tower sensors that came with the unit. Actually, 2 more tower sensors came with it, and I had trouble with those too. So I fabricated this little bad boy over here. What you're looking at there is a 3-inch PVC pipe, of course, and on the inside there's a 2-inch PVC pipe surrounded by expanding foam, and if you look close you'll see that eyelet, that ring in there, and the zip tie and the sensors actually hanging down inside this pipe. So that was my solution, because I could not seem to find a good area for these tower sensors, even tower sensors, and I wanted at least one accurate reading, because that 5-in-1 sensor, even though I'm posting it on Wonderground, it is not really accurate. When it's blazing sun out, it shows about 5 degrees higher than local weather stations and the tower sensors that I have. But I was having issues with those tower sensors too, so this was my solution. And hopefully this works. I just installed it today. Went over to Home Depot, bought that 3-inch PVC you're looking at, that elbow right there, and the 2-inch PVC pipe inside the eyelet. Screwed it into the back. You could probably see it poking out the back here. There it is right there. I just drilled a little hole, screwed it in there, and used good old zip ties to hang that down inside. So if worse comes to worse and I still get like a spike even on this tower, what I'm going to do is get a computer fan, and I'm going to mount it right in that opening right there, and I'm going to keep it constantly powered. I'm going to hook up a transistor board to it so I can actually run constant power to it and regulate the fan without burning it out. But hopefully this will cure my temperature problems with the 5-in-1 sensor that's up on top of the shed here. You know, the 5-in-1 sensor, the problem with that 5-in-1 sensor is you can't hide it anywhere else, because it's got a wind meter on it. It's got a rain meter on it that you can't hide from anything else, because if you do, if you hide it under something, it's not going to get the rain into the cups. And you know, if you hide it also, it's not going to get accurate wind readings, and it's not going to get the solar power that you're looking at right there. There's 2 solar panels on it that activate an internal fan that's supposed to keep it from having a solar radiation effect. So I have yet to solve that issue. I think the issue would be that Acurite should provide constant power instead of solar power to that internal fan. That way you can plug it in and have the internal fan go constantly, maybe at a higher RPM. So until now, there's my solution on my temperature issues. And maybe you might want to try this out. I'll do a follow-up on this too, to see how it works out for me. So far, it's actually showing a lower temperature than the 5-in-1 sensor. So we'll see how this works out, and I'll do a follow-up. Hopefully it won't take me as long as it took me to do my follow-up for the HC-150 Hedge Trimmer. Sorry about that. I'm sure a lot of people were waiting on that, because I had over 300 views on that. Anyway, over and out. Enjoy your summer. Have a great day.